All right, friends, I have gotten my tea, so we're gonna get started soon. How are you all? Are we ready to have our hearts broken some more? Way better now. I'm good. I'm still coming down off the Ryutama session from Anaris' channel. Tissues and 3 bottles of water. Yeah, I think stuff is about to really, we're gonna start getting into the high-octane tragedy here relatively soon. We are hanging out with the laid-back murder hobo, but that laid-back murder hobo happens to have tuberculosis. And considering we've been playing through this several times now, I don't consider that a spoiler. Plus, you could literally look it up on Wikipedia, so... Also, yes, hey, we have an emote now if you are a sub. If you are a tier 1 subscriber, you now have access to the Hype Skay emote in honor of our first husband. Hey, Skay. It's kind of tiny, and I sort of want to redraw it, but I've already redrawn it at least once. At least now, y'all have an emote. I'm sorry if it doesn't read super clearly, but we'll get there. I have a couple more coming. I'm gonna do Rage Hijikata, and probably like Kappa face Okita. Aw, thank you for the subs. Thank you for gifting subs, Grim. Thank you so much. And I will work on badges. I have sketches and things. I just need time to actually create the digital versions, but I'm trying. Y'all have been subscribing and I've given you literally nothing back, so I need to get on that. I'm working on it, I promise. I will make it worth your while somehow. Let's see who we got here. Lots of lurker peoples. Some good friends. Aw. Well, I'm glad you guys love the Hype Skate emote. Our good cinnamon roll samurai. Of course I was gonna make an emote with him. How could I not? Oh, and hey, Moobot just reminded me with its timely posty thing. If you're not already there, I do actually have a Discord server now. It's primarily been for my cast of some shows that I've got coming up, but you regulars who want to scream about our samurai husbandos are absolutely welcome and encouraged to join. There's literally an entire channel devoted to Hakuoki bullshit, so... We now have a dedicated place to scream about this game. These games, rather. It's still a little on the small side, but it's happening. Yay! Well, thanks for joining, Mr. Lovejoy. Much obliged. Enjoy your stay. All right. We've got about a minute, but I think a good majority of us are here. Are we ready to get started? So we'll sit through the intro like we usually do, and that'll give anybody else, excuse me, time to pop on in. So, let's do. Are we ever ready? I don't know. Are we ever ready? Not really, but let's do this. Let's break our own damn hearts. This also gives me time to look up the walkthroughs again. Oh no, a morning shift. Gross. Well, the VOD will be there for you. All right. Here we go. Let's see. So last time, I'm gonna pop into the gallery just to check out our CGs we've unlocked. They raided the Okita Inn after finding some stuff. Oh wow, we don't have these first two. I wonder why. Maybe they'll fill in later. So we raided the Okita Inn. Stuff happened. They ultimately won the day, but during that little scenario, Okita had a hell of a fight with Kazuma, trying to protect us, because he was very confused about that, and I totally don't know the controls in the gallery, but we got this cool scene! And then he basically passed out, sort of hacking up his innards from that real painful encounter. He got socked hard in the ribs. Because let's not forget, Kazuma's an Oni. He's really goddamn strong. I'm interested to know why we don't have other CGs, but maybe they pop up. Okay, yeah. So they pop up in a weird order. We're not worried about it. So, yeah. That's what happened last time. This is... I think this is where we were at. Here we go. We are in chapter 3-ish? Something like that. Anyway. We've been through this so many times, it's all starting to blend together. Whew.
A few days passed. Your medicine's ready. I was carrying medicine and some hot sake. The medicine was Ishida medicinal powder, which was manufactured by Hijikata's family.
宗司と平助に飲ませてやってくれ。それから三男さんにもだ。
Sunnan's eyebrows rose at the mention of his name.
おや、私も飲むんですか？私の傷はもう塞がっていますよ。
試してみましょうよ、三男さん。この薬って何にでも効くらしいですから。
Sunnan rolled his eyes, but reached over to take his portion of medicine and sake. He had been telling the truth, though. His injuries had healed, at least as much as they were going to. But his arms still refused to work properly. It was slowly becoming clear that it would probably never work properly again.
石田三役は熱燗で飲むのが粋だよな。羨ましいぞ、お前ら。
羨ましいなら飲めばいいだろ。新八さんだって怪我人じゃねえか。
酒は飲みてえが、残念なことに俺の怪我はもう治っちまってるんだよな。
Nagakura was injured at the Okita Inn, but he recently declared that he was completely healed, despite the fact that his wound still looked painful. I'd heard that he had convinced Hijikata that his wounds weren't as bad as Okita or Heisuke's.
しかし、宗司と東堂君が怪我をするとはね。
あれは池田屋が暗かったから、普段の戦いなら遅れは取らないって。横合いから急に殴られたんだよ。おかげで8金なんて真っ二つだしさ。
拳で8金を割るか。随分と豪気な奴がいるもんだ。
Heisuke muttered something bitter and angry under his breath, but Harada just laughed.
あと、なんだっけ、宗司から逃げ切ったやつもいたしな。
Okita only smiled quietly as Nagakura gestured toward him.
次があれば絶対に逃がしませんよ。次に勝つのは僕ですから。
Everyone began sharing their experience at the inn. Saito, however, remained silent. Is there something bothering you? I kept my voice low so as not to interrupt any of the other men in their conversations.
宗司らを負傷させるほどの実力者があの夜池田屋にいた理由を考えていた。長州のものではないと言ったそうだが、池田屋も人払いはしていたはずだ。
Yes, yes, their voices are quite good. I don't remember off the top of my head the name of Heisuke's voice actor, but I know Saito is Kosuke Toriyumi, and Soji is Shotaro Morikubo, who are both veteran voice actors who have been in a bazillion anime and games and are always awesome. The others are quite storied as well. And I probably know too much about that.
Oh,
池田屋の人間と老子たちの目を盗み、 何らかの目的で侵入したか。目的は違えども行動を共にしていたのか。
I used to look that stuff up all the time because I was always curious. That's my love of voice acting shit. So, yeah.
Mm.
今確実にわかるのは奴らが相当の実力者だということだけだ。
The sliding door suddenly flew open as Saito finished his sentence, and Kondo appeared.
会津藩から伝令が届いた。
As all conversation ceased, eyes turned to Kondo.
長州の襲撃に備え、我ら新選組も出陣するよう仰せだ。
And the name is totally blanking on me right now, and because my brain is dumb. But Kondo's voice actor also played Mustang in Full Metal Alchemist.
A cheer went up from everyone present.
ついに来たか。待ちかねたぜ。
残念だったな、平助。怪我人はさすがに不参加だよな。
でもせっかくの晴れ舞台だし。
He turned to Hijikata, clearly hoping the commander might give him special leave to go.
不参加に決まってんだろ。おとなしく豚書で留守をしてやがれ。
Hijikata is Shinichiro Miki, who has been in like 80,000 billion anime and games for the last several decades. He's been around forever. He's probably played one of your favorite characters, other than Hijikata.
土方さん、鬼！この鬼副長！
なんだそれ褒めてんのか。つまきにされたくなきゃ黙ってろ。
Heisuke's mouth snapped shut. I didn't think Hijikata would actually stab one of his own men, but neither did I think he would go easy on any of them, even if they were injured.
東堂君、怪我人は足手まといらしいですから、素直に豚書で留守をしましょう。
Oh look, Sanan's already starting his bullshit.
仕方がねえか。わかった。今回は留守番してるよ。
僕も今回は諦めようかな。参加したいけど本調子じゃないし。ちょっと外で涼んでこようかな。
Okita sighed and got up to leave. I assume I'll be staying here as well? Kondo nodded.
ああ、宗司と平助がダダをこねんよう見張っておいてくれ。
He let out a short laugh, and several men grinned. Before long, the Shinsengumi had left for the front, leaving only a handful of soldiers in the silent compound. So, what should I be doing when they're out? Oh, right. Kondo had asked me to keep an eye on Okita and Heisuke.
We get to babysit!
I think Okita is in the inner courtyard. To be honest, I was a little concerned for him. He was still recovering, and being out in the cold air wasn't doing him any favors in that regard. Still, that left Heisuke and Sannan. Maybe they're still in the common room. Heisuke seemed particularly frustrated at being forced to stay behind, and Sannan had been even colder and more distant lately. I was worried for Okita, of course, But I felt there was something deeper affecting the other two. Where should I go?
I think this choice is obvious. We want to go see where Okita is hanging out.
For a midsummer afternoon, the air was pleasant, making the courtyard a pleasant place to sit. He was sitting off in a corner in the shade, gazing up at the summer sky. I turned to look as well. It was a brilliant blue, and a distant breeze pushed white wisps of cloud at both ends. How long was it since I last looked up at the sky? Far too long, I thought, as I stretched out my arms up, soaking in the sunshine and cool, clear air. Then at last, I turned back to where Okita was, or perhaps had been, sitting. While I'd been enjoying the summer sky, he'd approached, and now he was right in front of me. My body stiffened and I felt my eyes widen. He raised a quizzical eyebrow.
僕のことなら心配しなくていいよ。豚舎を脱走する予定とか別にないから。
That's not what I'm worried about. True, he didn't seem like he was desperate to leave and join the fight, unlike Heisuke.
いいけどね。でもそれ違う心配はしてたってこと？
His mouth twisted into a small smile. I decided to tell him. You're still not in the best condition. It isn't good for you to be out in the cold for too long.
Hi, Smignac! I know, these eyes. I have a long list of things about Soji that I love, and that's one of them. The short list is basically everything. Yay, Anaris is welcome with your ramen. I'm jealous that you have ramen. I want ramen.
心配してくれてたんだ。ありがとう。風に当たるのはほどほどにして部屋に戻るよ。
Okita had always seemed a little mean. Until that moment, I would never have thought I'd hear him thank me for worrying about him. I wasn't sure what to say. Both of us appeared to have run out of things to say, and silence fell across the courtyard. I didn't want to scold him and then simply leave for my room, but... There had to be something thoughtful I could say. I hope your injury heals soon. Not that. Okita laid his hand on his chest absently and looked across the courtyard at nothing.
刀傷じゃないしね。治るのは早いと思う。だから僕の方は大丈夫なんだけど。
He was right, and that should have given him cause for joy. But his face didn't change. He blinked and looked back down at me. Are you, thinking about Sannan? He'd made a point to say you, although he'd left it unsaid. I could see he was worrying about the man we both knew wouldn't be fine. Sannan's arm wasn't going to heal, at least not completely. It would never again hold a sword. Okita said nothing. He cocked his head and smiled. I felt my cheeks getting warmer from blushing. Sorry if I was being too nosy. I apologized, but he warmed up and shook his head from left to right. I couldn't tell what his intentions were. Okita's smile just deepened a little.
君ってちょっと変だよね。
Thanks for the host, Denarisis. Rip Sanan. Yeah, he's not dead yet.
Weird. Maybe I looked upset, but he called me weird. For no reason.
本当に変だよ。僕のことなんて心配する必要ないのに。怪我をしたのは自業自得なんだから。
What? No, you shouldn't blame yourself. Okita hadn't done anything wrong. He followed his orders and did the best he could. I didn't see how you could say what had happened was his fault. When I looked up, his smile was gone, and I couldn't bring myself to say anything more. He glanced down at me, then looked at the sky.
今日の空、綺麗だよね。
Yes. The midsummer sun shone down. I felt a breath of warmth in the cool air. White clouds danced across the blue expanse, flying gracefully. Where were the men who'd marched off earlier now, I wondered.
So, yes. Soji's route is going to be peppered with all these awkward and quiet, sweet little moments. And then they're gonna rip our hearts out. That's why I love it. It is my jam. We're going to save, because we haven't really done that.
Hello, faraway dear. Welcome.
All right.
The Choshu extremists' attempted attack on the imperial estate eventually came to be known as the Hamaguri Rebellion. Although the Shinsengumi were called to action, their efforts were stymied, and they found little in the way of glory. Communication with their superiors was poor at best, and they spent much of the battle waiting with reserves. When the Shinsengumi finally entered the battle, each man found several strange opponents awaiting him. Chikage Kazama, who defeated Okita at Ikeda, claimed to be from the Satsuma domain during his encounter with Hijikata. Kyuju Amagiri, the man who shattered Heisuke's headguard at Ikeda, also claimed membership in the Satsuma.
Alright, Grim, sleep well, my friend. Catch the VOD later. Have a good day at work tomorrow. Be well, be safe.
They had also met Kyo Shiranui, who'd fought alongside men from Choshu. Whoever they were, it was clear that they were not allies of the Shinsengumi. Indeed, it seemed they could easily become some of its greatest enemies. If they were to meet in open battle, the casualties would be severe. By the time the battle was over, the commanders of the Choshu attack had been killed in the fighting, or took their own lives. There were some soldiers, however, who escaped, setting Kyoto ablaze as they fled. By some terrible misfortune, winds that day blew from the north and fanned the flames, reducing the southern end of the imperial estate to ash. As a result of the Choshu attack, Many imperial nationalists were executed. With the Hamaguri rebellion over, the Choshu were branded as traitors for attacking the estate. From then on, they were acknowledged enemies of the court.
So there's our history lesson for the night. For now. I have seen the anime. And played basically every version of the game. The anime I didn't enjoy as much. I have not seen the movies, but I did watch the TV series and some of the other stuff. I was not a huge fan, but they did the best they could considering they were trying to condense the routes of like 6 characters into one narrative. It's a bit of a challenge, especially when there's inconsistent characterization across the different routes.
November 1864. Summer turned into autumn, and the Imperialists kept quiet. Despite my regular presence in the Shinsengumi rounds, no news of my father came in at that time. Days passed peacefully, one after another. The leaves were dancing on the wind one evening as I busied myself with cleaning. All right, almost done. Gradually, I'd been given more and more freedom to move around the compound. I was given a few duties to manage, and as long as I was doing them, I could go wherever I needed. On days that I can't go on rounds, I've been helping around at the compound.
Yo! 今日も精が出るな。
Oh, hello. I set down my work and turned toward him.
そろそろ日も暮れるし、適当に終わらせとけよ。
Ah, so you came via the anime. The games tell a much more thorough story, that's for sure. They are well worth the time. And like I say, the anime I don't necessarily recommend to people if they've come in via the game first, because there's going to be some disappointment there. But it probably stands on its own decently well, I think. I can't 100% judge in that respect. The movies look quite good. I need to actually see them. And chat friends here, we're going to do some anime watching of Hakuoki via Rabbit once we're done with the games. Oh, thanks.
ほんと真面目だよな。毎日こんな遅くまでさ。
Are you on your way out?
ま、俺らもお勤めにな。
Really? They weren't wearing their uniforms. That meant they weren't going on their rounds. Oh, I get it.
ああ、島原までちょっとな。朝には帰るから心配いらね
え。一応言っとくけどな。もちろん飲むだけだぜ。
I love how awkward Heisuke gets about this. He's like, no, I'm totally not going for the women. Like, cause it's not like I like you or anything. I'm pretty sure there's not a single route in this game where Heisuke doesn't have at least a giant crush on Chizuru. It's just in his route it actually turns into something. Why would you wear a shirt when you have pecs like this? Yes, Heisuke always has a crush on Chizuru. It's the cutest thing.
女目当てで行きたがるのは新八さんくらいだから。
おい、ヘスケ、何も女の子の前で本当のこと言う必要ねえだろ。
So you are.
それは
とにかくあとは頼むわ。土方さんが俺らを探してたらうまくごまかしといてくれ。
What? They left me with a difficult task. Anyway, I need to go finish cleaning up the courtyard. It was almost time for dinner and I wanted to be done before I had to eat. I was dumping out the leaves I'd gathered when... Huh? I could hear some kind of commotion coming from outside of the house. What is that? I quickly put the broom away and hurried toward the entrance. Gathered just inside the front gate were about 10 children. Standing in the middle of them was... Okita?
あれ？君が玄関の外に出てくるなんて珍しいよね。
What are you doing? Who are these children?
うん。誘拐とかじゃないし、安心してくれていいよ。ちょうど暇だったから遊んでもらってるとこ。
I wasn't sure how to respond, but Okita grinned. So are they all your... friends?
うん。そんな感じかな。いつもお世話になってるんだ。
Yay! Yes, Murder Hobo is the best! Yeah. They're just like, oh, by the way, I totally didn't kidnap them. Don't worry, it's fine.
Oh.
And yeah, he's, giant air quotes, good with kids, Julie.
Usually adults play with kids, not the other way around. Although, making kids play with him did seem like something Okita would do.
もしかして僕たちと一緒に遊びたい？
Oh no. I shook my head. Is it really okay for you to let children in here?
土方さんに見つかったらまず間違いなく怒られるよね。
He's like, if Ichigata finds out, he'll probably flip his shit. Lol.
I think he will.
以前の三男さんだったら一緒に遊んでくれただろうけど、今は八つ当たりされそうかな。
I know, it's so delightful how Soji basically gives no fucks ever.
Doesn't that mean there's a pretty good chance that you're going to get into trouble? He just grinned.
他のみんなも怒りそうだしね。見逃してくれるのは君くらいだよ。
Then maybe you should send them home before you get caught.
俺たちのことに口出すなよ。どこで遊ぼうが勝手だろ。
What?
外野は黙っててくれよな。俺たちは掃除と遊ぶんだから。
It looked like they were awfully fond of him. Could I really just leave them alone, though? That didn't seem right either. I thought about it for a minute before I spoke. This is the headquarters of the Shinsengumi. It's a place for men to do, work. You really shouldn't be playing here.
掃除だって新選組なのに、俺らと一緒に遊んでるよ。
Well,
どうせ大した仕事してないんだろ。
No, but that's because they're out on patrol. They're catching bad guys and keeping Kyoto safe.
今日の平和がどうとか言ってるけど、評判は悪いよね。人斬りとか。
否定できないよね。僕たちは必要があれば人を切るのが仕事だし。 これでも無駄な殺しはしてないつもりだけど。
I wasn't sure what to make of his smile. He's always talking about killing people. I probably hear him talk about death every day. To be honest, I don't have any idea how he really feels about it. Is killing people a big deal for him? Or is it just something he does?
新選組なんて変なやつばっかり。俺らが命令される筋合いないよ。
I need to consult the walkthrough before I talk to these terrible kids.
Shockingly, we don't pick that one.
I guess you've got a point. I had to admit he was a little convincing. I don't think they're bad people, but they are kind of rough, I guess.
でしょ？
しかも新選組はよく島原通いしてるって父ちゃんが言ってた。
Oh my god, these fucking kids.
Well, based on what happened earlier, I couldn't deny that. Among the Shinsengumi, there are a few exemplary people, but I guess from the outside they just knew how to attract trouble.
もしかしてすごい真面目に考えてる？
Well, I mean, the Shinsengumi is taking really good care of me. It feels wrong not to stick up for them, but...
本当のことばかり言われて言い訳のしようがない感じ？
Yes.
君ってちょっと素直すぎるよ。
You don't have to laugh at me!
そんなに慌てないでよ。別に責めてるわけじゃないから。むしろ全面的に同意かな。新選組は悪い印象を持たれても仕方ない集団だと思ってるし。
Hey, Renegade. Soji is playing with children, and these children are terrible. But, yeah, these kids are winning a debate with Chizuru, which is really not surprising, to be quite honest.
I had to wonder if it was really okay for him to say things like that in public. He didn't seem to care at all, but that just made me more worried.
ほら、やっぱり新選組って悪い奴らの集まりなんだろ？
No, that's not it at all. Try as I might, I couldn't just ignore them, even if they were children. Yes, I know a lot of them are kind of scary, but they're really not bad people.
怖い奴が善人なわけないだろ？むしろみんな悪人面してるし。
Percy has arrived. And no, Chizuru can't debate her way out of a paper bag.
I don't think so.
ほら、例えば土方さんとかいつも厳しい顔してるよね。眉間に深いシワ寄せてさ。
Oh, look at Okita dropping truth right there.
それに三男さんだって笑顔が消えるとかなり怖い形相になるよ。
Well, yes, but... He was siding with the children! I didn't know what I was supposed to do.
Thank you for the follow, Faroadia. Welcome, welcome, officially.
Well, I can't say they're not scary, but, I was out of ideas. Kondo, the chief of the Shinsengumi. He's really nice. He's a good person. He wasn't just good compared to the rest of the Shinsengumi either. Anyone who meets Kondo instantly becomes charmed by his warm aura. But the children didn't seem convinced.
確か局長ってさ、すっごい鈍そうなやつだろ?
Oh no! No, that was a bad thing to say, kid. That was a bad thing to say. Thanks for the follow, Twilight! Also, how you doing, dude? I see you all over all the various discords, Invisible Sun, and all that good shit.
What?
うん、ニコニコしながら散歩してるの見たけどさ。
Soji's going to kill them!
なんか頼りない感じ。めちゃくちゃ弱そう。
他のやつらの方がまだまともっぽそう。
Trying to get your wife to come watch this? Oh boy. Just point out that there are a ton of hot samurai in this game. Surely she will come running.
I think there's more to being in charge than looking like you can fight. Was that really how Kondo looked to them?
あんなのが局長だから新選組はダメなんだって。
Stop it! Stop being so mean! You don't understand! I took a step toward them, but Okita held out an arm and smiled to me.
まあまあ、君もちょっと落ち着こう。相手は子供なんだし、そんなに怒ることないよ。
But
そうじ、そいつ無視して俺たちと遊ぼう。
うん、そうだね。
Okita! He didn't even seem to have heard me, and walked over to the children with a smile.
君はどんな遊びがしたいの？高い高いとか、どう？
それでいいよ。掃除って背が高いしさ。
うん。身長がこんなことで役立つなんて面白いよね。
He grabbed the child.
高い高い。
Okita grunted with effort and lifted the grinning child up over his head. I had mixed feelings.
ほら、楽しい。いつもと違う高さって、それだけで面白いよね。
Please be careful with him! How long was he planning to leave him up there? It was starting to feel like quite a while.
あのさ、掃除。そろそろそいつ下ろしていいよ。
遠慮しないでいいよ。高い高いしてもらうの、僕も昔は好きだったしさ。
Yeah, Soji's voice is one of my favorites in the entire freaking game. His voice actor aces every line. It's so good.
I saw realization dawn on the child's face, and excitement quickly turned to fear.
泣くほど喜ばなくてもいいのに。
His voice was cold. Okita wasn't smiling anymore. I blinked. Why was I just watching? Stop that! He's just a child!
やだな。僕は遊んであげてるだけだよ。
That's not what it looks like.
ごめんってば。
君もどうして謝るのさ。遊んでもらった時は普通ありがとうだよね。
Okita, you're scaring him!
許してよ掃除。俺たちが悪かった。
新選組の悪口なんてもう言わないよ。だから許して。
Reluctantly, Okita lowered the boy back down. I tried my best to calm them down and then quickly sent all of the children back home before Okita changed his mind.
Danny, hi! You just missed a fabulous scene. Babysitting with Okita.
I thought you said they were your friends.
Yeah, now you see the good in giant air quotes with kids.
If that's true, you really shouldn't be bullying them like that.
だってあの子、近藤さんをバカにしたし。何も知らないくせにさ、あんなこと言う資格ないよ。
So Hijikata is fair game, but he draws the line at Kondo? I suppose that shows just how much Okita cares about him.
なんで笑うの？
What? Oh, nothing. No reason. I mean, Kondo really is a wonderful man.
To be fair, Kondo is an idiot. Yeah! He's not the best leader.
He smiled widely and nodded vigorously.
だから君が怒ってくれたの、結構嬉しかったよ。
I was confused about how to respond to his pleased look. I hope you can make up with them soon. I mean, they did apologize eventually. I don't think they're really bad kids.
わかってる。ちゃんと謝っておく。それから近藤さんがどんなにすごい人かも話しておくよ。
I smiled back at him. It cut both ways, but I admired Okita's honesty. The situation had been resolved, more or less. But as I began to relax, I suddenly remembered. Oh! We're late for dinner! Come on, we have to hurry. They're probably angry at all of us. Okita just laughed.
もし君が怒られたら、ちゃんとかばってあげるよ。さっきのお礼にね。
Okita enjoys teasing me, and, well, everyone. And sometimes he can be really irritating. He's not a bad person. Sometimes, in his own way, he's even nice. Seeing how much he cared about Kondo made him less intimidating. I was lost in thought and fell behind, so I hurried after Okita and headed toward the main building.
Oh boy. Time to get kidnapped. It's not like I like you or anything, Baka. Alright, we should save. Oh, Shiranui. So good.
The dawn of the new year arrived. It was February of 1865, and we finished eating breakfast. I was carrying a plate full of tea and opened the door to the common room. Tea's ready.
おお、すまないね、雪村君。
I made my way around the room, pouring a cup of tea for each person there, making sure not to spill. He gave me a warm smile as I handed him his tea.
やっぱり寒い日には厚めのお茶がうまいね。
Thank you. I felt a flush of pride at his words, even though I hardly knew quite...
Well, even I can't read words right now. Wow. Let's try that again.
I felt a flush of pride at his words, even though I knew quite well that serving tea was hardly impressive. Just the same, I felt as if I was helping out in a way, and that was a nice feeling.
Yeah, we've all been wishing that Shiranui had a route because he would be super cool. He has some good backstory stuff that we just don't really get to get into enough.
And then Hijikata spoke, and his words brought me back to the present.
Oh god, Kazuma's route.
ヤギさんたちにも世話になったが、この豚書もそろそろ手狭になってきたか。
Kazuma's route in Kyoto Winds was fine. It turned into such a trash fire in Edo Blossoms, and I'm still mad about it. I will always be mad about it. Don't say Butterboy's name, it gives him power.
まあ確かに狭くなったな。大使の数も増えてきたしよ。
Okay, Ethan. Thanks for hanging out. Sleep well. Take care. I'll see you next time.
Sayonara.
I friggin' loved Kazuma in the original game, but then they changed the narrative of his shit in Edo Blossoms and it became intensely problematic. I still find him disgustingly pretty and love his voice a lot and some of the personality. I just think Edo Blossoms ended up having some really crummy writing in certain routes, and his was one of the ones that suffered immensely.
広いところに移れるんならそれがいいんだけどな。雑魚寝してる連中かなり辛そうだしよ。
Yeah, she was way too passive in that route and it was just a giant mess. They really could have done things to make that work and they... Yeah. If she wasn't so passive to his bullshit and he showed some fucking growth, that would have been a big difference. It's really all it would have taken.
だな。前川邸で寝起きしてる連中なんて毎晩押し寿司みてえになりながら寝てやがるぜ。
Side note, the living conditions of the Shinsengumi right now sound like absolute shit.
あれじゃ疲れが取れねえだろうし、なんとかしてやりてえよな。
そんなこと言ったって僕たち新選組を受け入れてくれる場所なんてないでしょう。僕たち今日の嫌われ者だしね。
A person sitting beside Kondo pointed at the map spread upon the table.
西本願寺というのはどうかしら?
Speaking of guys we hate.
西本願寺ですと先方の同意を得られるとは思えませんが。
I repeat, speaking of guys we hate.
でも数百人の大使が寝起きできるほど広い場所なんて 他にないでしょ。
And Lynn is channeling Elias right now. Die.
それにあの場所ならいざという時も動きやすいと思うのだけど。
I know, these fucking bastards. Hate them so much.
This man was named Kashitaro Ito, recruited by Heisuke a few months ago as the Shinsegumi's military advisor and deputy commander. He developed his notoriety teaching Hokushin Ito in his dojo, and he is known for his scholarliness.
それに西本願寺は以前長州浪士をかくまっていたこともあると聞きますわ。
Ito is 150% a frickin' snake. He's the worst.
我々が西本願寺に移れば浪士たちは身を隠す場所を一つ失うことになります。
I don't understand Takeda's hair. It's absurdly beautiful. It's not fair.
そこまで考えての選定というわけですか。なるほど。
No, Kondo, don't listen to him.
Kondo seemed very impressed by Ito's suggestion, but a silent voice of protest arose.
僧侶の動きを武力で押さえつけるのはいかがなものかと思いますが。
Ito's brow twitched, as if disturbed by the idea, and he faced Sunnon directly.
自社を隠れ蓑にして好き勝手な振る舞いをしていたのは長州浪士の方ではなくて。
I know, that line was a little doofy. A silent voice of protest, like, doesn't make any sense at all. But whatever.
今日の治安を乱す不逞浪士に配慮して差し上げるなんて三男さんもお優しいこと。
Ito's deflection of Sunnon's words left a bitter taste in everyone's mouth, including Sunnon.
尊上過激派を抑える必要があるという点に関しては同意しますが。
Yeah, I think they probably needed a different word there. Quiet was probably the intended translation. Once again, speaking of guys we hate who have incredible hair.
切り合うときは、やあやあ我こそはって名乗りを上げて、正々堂々とやるべきだとでも言うつもりか。不逞浪士どもがそんな鎌倉武士みたいなご作法に付き合ってくれりゃいいがな。
三郎、口を慎みなさい。
Yup, look Danny, it's our fave.
もっと悪い。つい本音が出た。
The other man beside Ito was Saburo Miki, who joined at the same time as Ito. Allegedly, he was Ito's younger brother by blood.
Punch his gorgeous face. I know, right? Yes, please.
皆さん方、ごめんなさいね。この子は昔から口が悪くて。
I'm curious as to why they make that specification that they're like, supposedly, quote unquote, allegedly, he was his younger brother by blood, yet they have very different names? I'm like interested to know what the deal is there.
三男さんもお気を悪くなさらないでくださいな。 あなたのような方も新選組を大きくしていく上では必要だと思いますし、たとえ左腕が使い物にならなくとも、その才覚と学識はタイのために大いに役立つはずですわ。
Oh, look at Ito throwing down the shade. Like a dick. And yeah, my only guess is that maybe they are essentially related by blood, illegitimately and whatnot, hence the different names. One of them's a bastard, and not the like behavioral kind, because they both are that.
I watched his son unbit his lip, an act of restraint to Ito's sour words. The tension was caught by another voice.
伊藤さん、今のはどういう意味だ?
All this creep on the screen. Don't worry, Hijikata shows up to break it. And now he's about to own the fucking room.
Hijikata's voice was cold and sharp, like the sound of a blade sliding across a whetstone. Ito seemed taken aback, and his eyes grew wide.
あんたが言うように、三男さんは優秀な論客だ。けどな、剣客としてもこの新選組に必要な人間なんだよ。
Hijikata only spoke when necessary, so it must have been something he truly believed. However,
ですが、私の腕は。
he couldn't even seem to bring himself to finish. It seemed as though Hijikata realized his words were reminding Sannan of what he used to be, causing Sannan to curl his lips into a frown.
ごめん遊ばせ。私としたことが失言でしたわ。
Wow, thanks for the continued sub, Red Blue Fire. And yeah, Miki's name that we see him using is apparently not his birth name. Hey, yeah, let's get some hype-ske in the chat for the thanks with the sub now that we actually have an emote.
Sannanさんは皆さん方の大切なお仲間ですものね。仲がよろしくて結構なことですわ。新たに入隊した大使たちも同じ気持ちでいてくれるといいのですけど。
Hijikata's eyes seethed with anger towards Ito.
Aw, thanks, Danny.
Kondo tried to relieve the tension by stepping in and clearing the air.
とりあえず屯所移転の件に関してはもう少し話し合ってから決めるということで。
That's a interesting thought. He took on another name, maybe to just divorce himself from Ito, technically. That would make sense. Especially if he's literally just tired of being in Ito's shadow.
伊藤さん、この後お付き合いを願えますかな。先ほどの件についてもう少し詳しい話をお聞きしたいので。
Twilight. It's okay. In all honesty, this is the Otome game I love to point people to who shake their heads at Otome games because it's like 90% cool Japanese history and action, and like the rest is Otome. It's just a good story most of the time.
ええ、喜んで。
Seeing the two get up, Takeda followed right behind them.
近藤局長、 私もご一緒して構いませんか？
This fucking social climbing douchebag.
いいとも。ぜひ君も伊藤さんの話を聞いて大いに見識を広めてくれたまえ。
Yeah, this one is definitely my favorite. I have played a lot of Ultimate games and I enjoy them all, but Hakuoki was my first and is definitely my favorite. Lin. Yeah, the Takeda in the Kenshin movie is like, wow. That guy.
新選組幹部といえど剣術ばかりではいかんからな。これからは広い視野と深い知識を身につけねばな。
Oh, because, you know, voice actor and shit. Takeda is voiced by Koyasu Takehito, who is also a voice actor who has been around for decades and decades. Notably, this one's for you, Danny. In the Japanese version of Slayers, he voiced Rezo the Red Priest. And he's been in like 1,000 billion other things and has probably played at least one of your favorite characters, much like Shinichiro Miki. In fact, they were both two of the lead characters in Vice Cruise, if any of you are familiar with that old-ass anime.
Huh.
Kondo left the common room with Ito and Miki. However, he still sat before us.
This guy. Wow. Hey, Backseat Gaming Bros. Oh god, Vice Cruise is so old. I never did see all of it, but I saw some of it and it was a thing of its time. It was decent though, I guess.
He smirked coldly toward us, and he slinked off to leave the common room.
Right? Like old Seiyu from the 90s. That's where some of these guys have been around for a long time.
Okita spoke once Miki's footsteps weren't audible.
まったく、誰なのさ、あんな人たちを連れてきたのは。
犯人はまだ江戸にいるだろう。平助の野郎、帰ってきたらとっちめてやる。
Vampire Princess Miyu. Oh man, yeah. Seiki Tomokazu and Miki Shinichiro, so good. I love Shinichiro Miki's portrayal of Hijikata in this. I don't think they could have found a more perfect voice actor for him. And Tomokazu Seki is super fantastic as Gilgamesh in Fate, in the Fate series. That's like my fave that he's done. I love him so much.
伊藤さんは尊上派なんだろう。
Oh, Get Backers. I never did see... I think I saw like 1 or 2 episodes of that.
長州の奴らと同じ考えの奴がよく新選組に入る気になったもんだな。
Been lurking for a while, but talk of Seiyu brought you out. Well, welcome. It's glad to have you chatting. I am always happy to talk about Seiyu and voice actors, obviously. And yes, Seki is Gilgamesh. It's amazing. He's so good.
そんな上位だからって長州と同一視されるのは心外らしい。そもそも尊王とはとかなんとかわけのわからねえことを抜かしてやがったんだよ。近藤さんも近藤さんであっさり丸め込まれやがって。
近藤さんってお人よしですからね。ああいう口がうまくてお腹の中が真っ黒な人に騙されやすいんだよな。
Shikamarus. Yeah, Morikubo has been in a ton of things. His other roles don't jump to mind for me immediately. I just have always been a fan of his voice. but I can't ever seem to remember a lot of the roles that he does. Like, he's also pitch perfect as Okita, though. I don't think they could have found a better actor. It's also why I did actually watch, like, a little bit of the anime dubbed, just out of curiosity. And, it's not that the dub was necessarily bad, it's just I was very used to these voices. And I also have this thing where, like, if the setting is so obviously Japanese, like, if it's literally a historical drama that's set in, like, Edo era Japan, I feel weird hearing them speak English. It's just it's a thing for me. And I definitely love dubs, because obviously I do voice acting as well, and it's kind of like, it'd be weird for me not to love dubs. But that's just that's one area where I'm extremely particular.
その伊藤さんが参謀で、弟が9番組組長か。めんどくさいことになったぜ。
Eventually, Hijikata approached Sannan, who weakly hung his head, facing the floor in shame.
Some anime definitely don't work as well in dub. In general, a lot of the ones I've seen do fine, especially nowadays, because there's so many fantastic actors out there these days. So, yeah, I've also had that work in reverse, kind of. Black Butler, for instance. I saw it originally in Japanese and loved it, but then I watched the dub, and it feels so much better because it's set in England, and so you expect them to have, like, English accents, and they do in the dub, and it just works that way. A lot of times, dubbing is not necessarily bad, but sometimes casting is just kind of haphazardly done, I have found. Or direction is not as good. It's not often that the actors themselves are bad.
三男さん、あんな奴の言うことなんざ気にするんじゃねえぞ。
Yay, another Black Butler fan! Black Butler is so good. I love that show. The manga's great too.
Sannan laughed dryly and shook his head.
伊藤さんは学識も高く、弁舌に優れ、剣の腕も確かな方ですよ。
Yeah, Johnny Young Bosch is like all over the place, and he really doesn't differentiate his voice a ton. The first season of Black Butler is really all you need to watch, technically. The second season was weird. And kind of problematic depending on what content you're okay with. It had some questionable stuff in there.
優秀な参謀の入隊で、ついに総長はお役御免というわけですね。
おい、三男さん。
Sannan left the room as Hijikata's voice trailed behind, echoing in the hall.
Oh man, Sebastian? In the dub, freaking J. Michael Tatum playing his voice is the best. So good. So good.
三男さんも気の毒にな。
Although, Sebastian's Japanese voice actor, Daisuke Ono, is in this game as Ryoma, whom we've met, like, in one of the routes once. He's one of the datables. We haven't done his route yet, though.
あの調子だから、近頃は大使連中にも避けられちまってる。
What? But why?
無理もねえだろう。どんな言葉をかけても全部悪く取られちまうし。何を言っても皮肉と嫌味しか返ってこねえから、大使たちも怯えちまって近づかねえんだよ。
Oh no. Poor Sannan. Even though I haven't been here as long as the captains, I knew Sannan was so well liked by the other warriors before his injury.
土方さん、伊藤さんたちなんて適当な理由をつけてさっさと追い出しちゃってくださいよ。
That's a fantastic idea, Soji.
あの人たちが来てから僕、毎晩嫌な夢ばっかり見るんですよね。
そんなことできるわけねえだろうが。近藤さんはすっかり伊藤さんに心酔してるみてえだしな。
Oh, Sari, hi!
Don't worry. You haven't missed a ton. We're taking it slow through this one, so.
伊藤さんと一緒に入隊してきた連中もそんな扱いをされりゃ黙っちゃいねえだろ。
役に立たない人だな。無理を通すのが鬼副長の役目でしょ。
Twilight. Yeah, Choji Nakata has quite the voice as well.
んじゃてめえが副長やりゃいいだろうが。で、あいつらを追い出せ。
嫌に決まってるじゃないですか。そんなめんどくさいの。
Like, look at this though. Soji's taller than Hijikata. By a decent margin. Like, look at where the shoulder line goes. He's a tall boy. And yeah, I think he is. I think Sano is the only one who's taller than him.
The consensus was that Ito was not to be trusted, and it seems no one spoke in his defense. Only one, during all of this, quietly sipped his tea.
Oh, Ryoma is as tall as Harada? Wow.
Saito quietly looked up at me as I poured more tea into his cup.
Aw, Saito-san.
So, what do you think about Ito? I mean, about Ito joining, that is.
さまざまな考えを持つ者が属してこそ、タイというのは広がりを見せるものだ。
So then...
だが無理に広げようとすると、内部から瓦解を始めることもある。
His words hung in the air, a dark omen for the future of the Shinsengumi. It was considerate of Ito to join, but his presence seemed to be a recipe for dissension, if not outright disaster.
Well, that's cheerful.
The setting sun glowed through the windows with a warm, rich maroon, an ominous kind of beauty. It's cold. I came out into the yard and my body stopped due to the cold. Guess spring will take a while. I wasn't too fond of Ito, but it was Sannan and his condition that truly worried me.
Aw, thank you.
I really wish his arm would just heal. That arm, or perhaps more accurately, the lack of it, was the source of his change in personality. Still, as nice as it would be for Sannan's arm to simply start working again, that seemed like the stuff of a child's fable, not real life. That was when I remembered.
薬でも何でも使ってもらうしかないですね。三男さんも納得してくれるんじゃないかな。
掃除。めったなこと言うもんじゃねえ。幹部が羅刹になってどうするんだよ。
Aw, Faroidia. Thanks. I'm very glad to have you.
Okita was talking about the Shinsengumi having some secret serum back in the day. Judging from how they spoke of it, it's an item with circumstances. But... and I was not to know about the existence of that serum. If I were to look into it without approval, there was no doubt that I'd be punished. But I'm the daughter of a doctor. I'm pretty sure I had more knowledge on medicine than the men of the Shinsengumi did. I need to check the walkthrough because I'm really not sure what I should do here.
I know, the music in this game is quite good. When I played the original on PSP, the music was serviceable for the game, but ultimately forgettable outside of it. They've like revamped all the audio in these remakes of the game, and the music is fantastic all on its own. That was a nice change.
I'm going to muster the courage to look into this. But where should I investigate? My room is in the Yagi house. There are some rooms that I'm not allowed to enter, but the captains live here as well, and I'd finally learned how to navigate the building. However, there was another building that was part of the headquarters for the Shinsengumi aside from the Yagi house. Some of the leaders, along with other warriors, live in the Maekawa house, diagonal from Yagi. And Sannan, who's injured, has been holed up in the Nambu residence, located behind Yagi. Since it's a residence, one cannot just stroll there casually. And since it's barely being used by anyone other than Sannan, it is a little isolated. If there are secrets being kept from me, then they have to be kept in a place I'd never think to check. If I were to look into it, it would either be in the forbidden areas of the Yagi residence.
In the what? What? Oh, this was that stupid area line that was clearly missing a thing. I think we determined it was probably the Nambu. So let me try that line again. It's great when the script kind of screws you over.
If I were to look into it, it would either be in the Nambu residence or the forbidden areas of the Yagi residence.
As for the next boy, what I've been trying to do is we are first focusing on the original Dateable 6. And then after we're done with all of them, we're going to go through the new guys that have been added for these remakes. So, out of the original 6, once we finish with Soji, we have Hijikata and Saito left. And I'm going to leave that choice up to chat, but I think there have been strong feelings about going for Hijikata. I'm probably going to actually do a poll once we get close to the end of Soji's. Saito, Saito, Saito! Yeah, I'll probably do a poll and let people decide it once we get close to the end. But I do know that a lot of folks were wanting to go for Hijikata's route. I ended up picking Soji after Sano's because I feel like it's a good way to get away from all the gushy, smushy, whatever bullshit was in that one. So, yeah, we've just got the Surus boas. Chizuru was intolerable in Sano's route. That was my problem with it. Sano was great. Chizuru I wanted to punch. Okay, so which should we look into? We're going to investigate the Nambu house.
Once I was quite sure everyone in the Yagi house was asleep, I made my move. So far, so good. Luckily, I was able to get to the entrance without anything happening, and I sighed with relief.
何が良かったの?
The surprise of seeing someone froze me.
君も大胆だな。僕たちの目を盗んで逃げ出そうとするなんて。
Okita. Well, I'm not.
一体何が違うのかな。こんな夜中に人目を盗んで部屋を抜け出すなんて、脱走以外考えられないんだけど。
Look, well, it's not like that. How was I supposed to explain to him? The more I panicked, the more I choked up.
冗談だよ。もし君が本当に脱走したら、切っちゃえばいいだけだし。
Oh, Soji gotta be Soji. It's not a day with him unless he's talking about killing someone.
逃げたところでどうせ行くあてもないだろうしね。
You're right. He was right. Even if I somehow managed to escape the Shinsengumi, I would lose my best chance at finding my father.
何にせよ、さっさと部屋に戻りなよ。子供が遊ぶ時間じゃないんだから。君だってあらぬ疑いをかけられて切られたくないでしょ。
Yeah. Maybe Okita was right, that it was reckless of me to investigate the serum, and thoughts swirled in my head before Okita spoke up again.
もし怖いものを見たら、すぐに声を上げて助けを呼ぶんだよ。一人で何とかしようなんて思わなくてもいいから。わかった。
They don't explicitly state ages, but Heisuke and a lot of the others mentioned that Chizuru is about his same age. And going, historically speaking, Heisuke is about 23. So Chizuru's probably in her early 20s. Soji is the second youngest captain after Heisuke, so he's like 25? Chizuru looks very young, but yeah, I don't know if she's necessarily a teenager still. Difference of 10 years. Holy shit. Well, okay. That makes a few of the choices a little scary, because damn. But yeah, not actually a kid. They just call her kid a lot, or it gets translated that way. Ugh. Yeah, Ryoma and Hijikata by the end of things are like 37.
Huh? He sounded rather serious for a moment. What do you mean by something scary? What could I run into in the Shinsengumi's headquarters that could be as scary as he thinks? He looked almost surprised for a moment, his face breaking into a wry grin.
そうだな。怖い夢とかお化けとか、あ、鬼副長なんてのもあるかもね。
That does sound scary. If Hijikata found out that I was walking around the compound without permission, I'm going to go back to my room now.
そうそう。おとなしく寝てるのが賢明だよ。僕は中庭をもう一回りしてこようかな。
Okita started to hum as he walked away. I didn't expect to be found, especially by Okita of all people. There was no way I could sneak into the Nambu house behind his back. Maybe I could investigate the Yagi house before going back to my room. Wait. I was so surprised I hadn't stopped to think. Why was Okita up so late? It was as if he expected someone to leave the Yagi house. But there's no way he could have known I would try. If not me, then who?
Yes, Sannan is one of the new options in Kyoto Winds and Edo Blossoms. Nagakura is also added as an option, as well as Yamazaki. And then there's Ryoma, of course, Iba, and Soma. I think that's all the new guys. There's an easy way to find out. So there's these boys. And these guys. Kazuma's not new. He's one of the original 6, but he's back here because he's not one of the Shinsengumi dudes. So yeah, that's everybody. It's the same suitors available in both games because it's technically one continuous narrative. It was originally just one game, but apparently with all the added content and added dudes, they had to break it into 2 games.
It was night at the Yagi house, and dead silent. I tiptoed down the halls as quietly as possible. Huh?
Essentially, the way Kyoto Winds and all of the original Hakuoki games worked is you play through the narrative and the choices you make steer you in the direction of narrowing the route down to a particular suitor. So if you're playing blind, you got no idea who you're going to end up with. It's actually way more fun. The route chooses you, that's correct. If you play blind, you find out who your true husbando is. Apparently my true husbando, when I played originally, was Saito. And I'm so okay with that, because he's a sweet pie.
Were my ears playing tricks on me? Or did someone just walk into the common room?
And no, Narcissus, that's actually not how all VNs work. Most of them, you choose the route at the very beginning and it plays out accordingly. At least the vast majority of the Otome games are.
I would be in trouble if someone saw me, so I did my best to blend into the shadows and hide. After a few moments of heart-pounding seclusion, my curiosity got the better of me. I departed my hiding place and crept toward the common room. I peered inside. Inside was Sannan. I wonder why. Something felt wrong. I just stood there. What is Sannan doing here late at night? I was at a loss. Should I speak to him, or... Before I could make up my mind, he turned.
まさか君に見つかるとはね。正直予想していませんでしたよ。
Sannan never gets up to anything good at night. Nope. So, historically speaking, and Lynn can give the full disclosure on this if she feels so inclined. At about this time in actual history, this is where Sannan ends up well, attempting to leave the Shinsengumi and having to commit seppuku. But also, yeah, he's hella creepy from this point on.
Sunnan gazed directly at me and muttered,
雪村くん、そこにいるのでしょ?
I guess he spotted me. I gave up and made myself visible to Sunnan. I'm sorry if it seemed like I was snooping or watching what you were doing.
別に叱るつもりはありませんよ。夜中に怪しい人影を見かけたら気にかかるのは当然でしょうしね。
It was very subtle, but I noticed something was off in Sunnan's attitude. He had a peaceful smile, something I hadn't seen for what felt like ages. It was a bit too peaceful, as if his worries had suddenly left him. It was an expression I've never seen since he gotten injured. Sunnan? Did something good happen?
ええ、ありましたよ。というより、ようやく決心できたと言うべきでしょうか。
Something swished in his hand. Sunnan, what is that?
これが気になりますか?
After his cryptic reply, he showed me what was in his hand. Sunnan was holding a small bottle made from fine idro. The glass was filled with a crimson liquid that looked like a poisonous chemical to me.
これは君の父親である光道さんが幕府の密使を受けて作った薬です。
What? The shogunate ordered my father to do something?
もともと西洋から渡来したものだそうですよ。人体に劇的な変化をもたらす飛躍としてね。
What do you mean by utterly transform?
単純な表現をすると、筋力や自己治癒力の増強でしょうか。
It sounded like something out of a fairy tale. If such a thing were to truly exist, the serum would be considered a miracle cure. But
しかし、この薬には致命的な欠陥がありました。
his smile twisted only a little.
強すぎる薬の効能が人の精神を狂わすに至ったのです。
Knowledge of the Shinsengumi comes from Gintama. Oh boy. Slightly different.
「薬を飲んだ人間がどうなったか、その姿は君も目にしたことがありますね。」
Of course. I'd seen the results of that madness the night I first met the Shinsengumi. Okita and Saito had killed off that monster with the white hair.
Kimiは察しがいいですね。そう、あの時の大使たちですよ。 薬を与えられた彼らは理性を失い、血に狂う化け物となり果てました。
His words brought a sharp chill down my spine. How horrible.
切り合いの最中、血が流れるたびに狂っていては、強靭な肉体を手に入れた意味がありません。行動さんは新選組という実験場でこの薬の改良を行っていたのですよ。
No! My father? Conducting experiments on human beings that made them go mad at the sight of blood? I couldn't believe it. No, I didn't want to believe it. But there was no reason for Sunnan to lie either. I saw it before my very eyes. Then did father really... Sunnan shrugged off my disbelief and continued.
しかし残念ながら彼は行方不明となり、薬の研究は中断されてしまいました。行動さんが残した資料をもとにして、私なりに手を加えたものがこれです。
He smirked and shook the bottle gently. The liquid inside sloshed from side to side, almost lazily.
その原液をできる限り薄めてあります。
I had so many questions to ask him, but I didn't even know where to start. So I simply spoke the first thing that came to mind. If you drink that, will you be okay? So, that serum, will it prevent you from going mad?
まだわかりません。誰にも試していないものですから。
His smile faded.
ですが、飲めば私の腕は治ります。薬の調合が成功さえしていればね。
You mean you're actually considering taking it? He had no guarantee that it wouldn't simply kill him outright. And even if he did survive, it might well drive him insane. Sunnan, please reconsider this. I'm sure there's some other way. You don't need to rely on the...
こんなものにでも頼らなければ、私の腕は治らないのですよ。私はもはや用済みとなった人間です。普通の大使まで陰口を叩いているのは知っています。
Wow, Mubot with the perfect timing. Oh.
あなたにはわからないでしょうね。大いなる志を持って同志と共に江戸から登ってきたというのに、何の役にも立てぬままお情けで重職を与えられている私の気持ちなど。
I know we talk a lot about Sunnan being a mega creepo, and he definitely is in later routes of like a lot of the stories. But when you really look at it from his perspective on things, it is really sad and horrible what happens with him. I do feel bad for the guy. Won't stop me from being creeped out by him like in every other route, but I'm gonna be very interested to play his route and see how that pans out. I would like to give the guy a happy ending somehow.
How could you say it's pity? You're a leader here. The Shinsengumi respects and needs you, now more than ever. Sunnan's eyes dotted with melancholy, flashing a brief smile that entertained the idea behind my words.
よく覚えていますよ。私は剣客としてもこの新選組に必要なのですよね。
Sannan seemed bitterly focused on the words that Hijikata said earlier. They really did affect him.
剣客として死に、ただ生きた屍になれというのであれば、人としても死なせてください。
No!
失敗すると決まったわけではありません。そう分の悪い賭けではありませんよ。
Sannan smiled as he said that, but there was no way to know what might happen to him. Considering the worst that could happen, I couldn't sit by and allow him to do this. I checked the walkthrough before deciding what to do. But I'm pretty sure I need to scream because that's what Okita said to do. Sannan came to hate himself for being unable to fight alongside his comrades and friends. Even if they forgave him, he never forgave himself. But
君にはわからないかもしれませんね。
was it the sort of thing only a fellow swordsman could comprehend then? How could I convince him to listen to me? It was then, in that moment of helplessness, that I remembered Okita's words.
もし怖いものを見たら、すぐに声を上げて助けを呼ぶんだよ。
Of course! I could never know what Sannan felt, but another man devoted to the sword might. I screamed as loud as my lungs allowed, my voice echoing down the halls and across the courtyards of the compound. Okita! But even as I cried out, Sannan drew his head back and drained the vial in a single draught. No! With the soft clink of glass, it rolled from Sannan's palm to the floor of the common room. His face warped in pain and he collapsed to the floor. His hair began to turn white. It became clear to me that his pain was something no ordinary person could handle. Sannan, you have to hold on! Through his fingers, I saw maddening eyes. Before me were the eyes that greeted me on the first night in Kyoto. Behind me, I heard the door slide open. Sannan looked behind me, over my shoulder.
Okita-kun, ですか。
こんばんは、三男さん。
It seemed like Okita didn't even look at me. His eyes completely focused on Sannan, then briefly the small bottle on the floor before back to Sannan. Okita, Sannan is... Sannan stared at Okita, his breath ragged and pained, like air struggled to stay in his chest.
見ての通り、実験は失敗です。Okita-kun, お願いできますか?
The little butterfly and charm thing means we made a choice that increased our romance level with Okita. Because basically, if you don't make the right choices in the game, you get bad endings. Which are usually, in this game, there's a lot of dying.
ええ。わかってます。
His expression flashed into a familiar grin. Even after Okita drew his sword, it still didn't occur to me what was about to happen. The polished tip of Okita's blade was pointed directly at Sannan.
安心してください。きちんと僕が解釈してあげますよ。
This is technically a nod to history, because I do believe Okita did serve as Sannan's kaishaku, his second when it comes to committing seppuku. At least if I recall correctly from what I read, it's believed Okita served as his second. Which essentially means he's the guy that cuts off your head when you're done cutting open your guts.
Sannan exuded calm at the sound of Okita's response. I held my breath, unsure if I wanted to see what was about to happen before me. Okita! You're not serious, are you? You aren't really going to kill him, are you? My voice shook with disbelief, and Okita's eyes paid me no attention.
君さ、やめてくれないかな、そういうの。よそ者は黙っててよ。
But wasn't Sannan his comrade? Or his friend? Everyone seemed to give their heart and soul to the Shinsengumi. But not like this.
鬱陶しいんだよ。新選組大使にでもなったつもり。
He didn't even move, but his tone hit like a slap. I'd been living with them for so long that my initial fear almost completely disappeared. I felt like I'd found a place for myself.
忘れたって言うんならもう一度言ってあげるよ。 君は利用価値があるから生かしてあげてるだけで僕たちの仲間じゃない。
Damn, Okita, that's harsh.
His words shattered my already breaking heart. But just then... Sannan screamed in pain, and I saw him kick the floor. Then I heard a horrific sound, like meat being cleaved and resounding through the darkness. Peeking over Okita's back, I heard the loud thud of a body collapsing to the floor, and around Okita's foot pooled the dark red puddle of blood. Sannan? I was trembling as I watched the blood trickle.
近づかない方がいいよ。
Okita's arm appeared in front of me, coldly. What? But why? I gave him a reproachful gaze, but he showed no signs of faltering.
何度も言わせないでくれる。近づくなって言ってるでしょ。 深手は負わせたけど、また襲いかかってこないとは限らないしね。
Huh?
あの薬を使ったら、この程度じゃ死ねないんだよ。
So, Sannan is still alive? Okita nodded bitterly, his body locked into a defensive position.
死ねないって言ってるんだから。生きてるに決まってるでしょ。
I was relieved from the bottom of my heart. Thank goodness. This good news, however, didn't mean we could let our guards down. Sannan could lose his senses again and potentially mortally wound us. But for now, at least, Sannan is still alive. After Sannan collapsed, the captains rushed into the room. They must have heard the commotion from the common room. Everything glowed white after, and I realized that I was in a daze. None of their words stuck in my ear, and I wobbled back to my room.
まったく手間がかかる子だよね、君って。
Okita had taken me back to my room, and I heard him as soon as he opened the door for me.
説明してくれるかな。どうして三男さんと一緒にいたの？
Okita was never particularly pleasant to me, but his tone was even harsher than usual. I felt like there was someone in the common room. I was curious, so I had a look. I found Sannan in there. Okita's lackadaisical response seemed disarming, and he just scanned me. Although my mind had cleared somewhat, it was still difficult to keep my thoughts organized. One, however, quickly rose to the surface. Is it true that my father had something to do with that stuff that Sannan drank?
三男さんから聞いたの？それ。
Oops. Sorry, Okita. Let's go back.
三男さんから聞いたの？それ。あの薬についても。
Yes. He said it makes you stronger, but it drives you mad. He fixed his eyes wearily on the ceiling above us, sighing before eventually answering my question.
君は薬をここに持ち込んだ人の娘だし、狂った大使とも実際に会ってるし、少しぐらいなら聞かせてあげてもいいかな。本当なら殺しちゃいたいところだけど。
His manner of speaking was far removed than his usual joking self when he mentioned killing. But this time it felt like he meant it. He could kill me at any time.
薬のことについて何か質問ある？一つくらいなら答えてあげるけど。
I mean, he's a hard one to get to know initially. Boy has some problems sometimes.
I desperately searched for the words. Why did the Shinsengumi get involved in something like this?
僕たちの役目は今日を騒がせる不逞老師を取り締まることだけど、簡単な仕事じゃないっていうことぐらい君にだってわかるよね。
Yeah. Among the Ronin, there are plenty that are actually skilled swordsmen. When I was on the rounds, I saw many such men fighting and dueling amongst themselves.
今日に来たばかりの頃はとにかく人手が足りなくてね。僕たちの名前なんて全然知られてないし、給金だって満足に出なかったからさ。入隊希望者なんてめったにいないし、たまに来ても得体の知れないゴロつきばっかり。 そんな時幕府の人が薬の実験を持ちかけてきたんだ。
An experiment? That must have been what Sannan was referring to. So you knew what the side effects were and you still made them take it?
もちろん彼らも承知の上だよ。新選組にはね、局中ハットっていうのがあるんだ。隊をまとめるための決まりみたいなものなんだけど、それに背くと即切腹を申し付けられる。
Cut yourself open?
あれ、何驚いてるの？武士の責任の取り方って言えば切腹しかないじゃない。
Traditionally, when samurai disgraced themselves, they drove their swords into their bellies. I had thought such traditions were obsolete, and that now the worst they do is pretend to cut themselves open with a fan.
でもまあ、どうせ死んじゃうんだし、最後にもう一度役に立ってもらった方がいいでしょ。だから、切腹するか、薬を飲むか、好きな方を選んでもらうことにしたんだ。
This is technically not mansplaining because he's actually telling her information she legitimately doesn't know. This is like more about the rules of the Shinsengumi that she was heretofore unaware of.
かわいそうだよね。本当に。
I couldn't think of anything to say. What sort of a choice was that? Death by your own hand, or madness and death by someone else's? The men that I'd encountered that winter night, had their last thoughts as men been hope they might survive the madness? It sounded horrible.
簡単に強くなれる薬があれば便利だよね。
Well, that's a translation thing. The rules of conduct is literally a thing that the Shinsengumi had. That was unique to them. Rules of conduct is just an unfortunate way to translate it that makes it sound intensely generic, but it's not actually that. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. It was their code. Their specific code for their organization. There are situations in this game where something gets translated that honestly would have probably played off better if they hadn't translated it and just left it in like Japanese so that it sounded more like a proper name. Like Furies is a bit of a weird choice. They translate Oni to demons, which I have strong feelings about. The strong feelings are, I think it was dumb that they translated it, but nah. So on and so forth. I will try to catch and explain those as I go.
実際は全然大したことなかったんだけど、僕たちでも簡単に切っちゃえるぐらい。
Yeah, Oni to Demon does make sense, but honestly, I feel like given the flavor we've got going here with it being like historical Japan, they could have just left it as Oni and it would have felt more appropriate.
In a moment, I was taken back to that fateful night, when Okita dispatched the warriors with white hair without any effort.
三男さんはこれからどうなるんだろうね。
Yeah, I'm assuming that they translated it for the purposes of assuming that the average English speaker who maybe picked this up at random off the shelf would not understand. So I get it. I'm just not personally fond of it. But yeah, certainly glad they didn't go with, like, ogre. Demon makes a lot more sense for what Oni actually are in mythology. Yeah, exactly, Twilight. Like, since this is clearly a Japanese setting, it feels flavor appropriate to have left it as Oni. They could have just as easily, like, done what they do with some terms and, like, chucked it in the dictionary here and just said, demons in a Japanese blah blah blah.
I was worried too. Was Sannan okay? Would he change? My stomach was twisting itself into knots.
Yeah, Furies is a weird choice to me for the same reason, Ulsari. Like, I think Greek mythology there. I get Rakshasa because they are referring to the, like, mythological creatures, not, you know, like D&D. Yeah, exactly. They kept stuff like Sekisho and they define it in the dictionary encyclopedia thing, so why would they not keep Oni? It felt like an odd choice. But I digress. Let's go ahead and take a break, because it's been a couple of hours. And we're at a bit of a scene break. So I'm gonna save. Yeah, that'd be my guess. They maybe couldn't add new dictionary entries, so they had to do something about that. The limitations. By the by, Twilight, thanks for the bits. I didn't catch that earlier. So, we will be back in 10 or 15 minutes. I'm gonna go refresh my tea, have a little snack, have a little walk around, rest my voice, and then we will be back at it and continue with our murder hobo dating. So I will see you all shortly. Okay, friends. We're almost back. To spend more quality time with our favorite murder hobo. Thank you. I have gotten myself some of my good throat coat tea so I can keep going. How'd I damage my throat? Basically screaming my head off. Not voiceover things, unfortunately. I got in an argument and I yelled a lot. But my voice is recovered. Strongly recommend you do not scream past the point that your throat basically stops producing a voice. Not to worry though, all is well. My voice is recovered and things are mostly fine. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely do some damage just from, like, length of time talking, which is why I was particularly worried about today. Because, Saturdays, I basically wake up, roll my ass out of bed, make myself look like a human, chug some coffee, sit down, play in a Planescape campaign for 3 hours, have a 1-hour break in which I shovel food into my face, make more caffeine, sit down to play one of 2 games on Anaris's channel for like 4 hours. Then pop off, grab more food, more caffeine, take a shower, and then I'm here doing this until we are too tired to continue and I fall into bed. So it's a very long day of a lot of talking in at least 3 different voices. But so far I have not hurt myself. Lots and lots of tea, lots and lots and lots of water. And with that, I think we're back. So, let's get back to this good shit. Thank you. All right.
And so, the long night broke. The captains of the Shinsengumi gathered in the common room.
みんな安心してくれ。峠は越えたようだよ。
The room collectively breathed a sigh of relief.
で、どうなんだ三男さんの様子は。
今はまだ寝てる。静かなものだよ。
今までの大使たちみてえになっちまってるのか、それとも。
Inoue simply shook his head.
確かなことは目を覚ますまでわからんね。
Alright, Anaris. Get some sleep, my friend. Tonight's game was wonderful. See you around. Take care. Also, everybody make sure if you aren't already following Anaris, you do so. Because because he's a fantastic human being and a great, great, great GM. And runs an incredible show every week, immediately prior to this stream. I play in both of those games. I can attest that they are worth all of your time.
見た目は昨日までと変わらないんだが。
Suddenly, then, the door slid open.
I would post a link, but if I step out of this to type anything, it jacks up. But let me see if I can do the shout out. There we go. I have to be careful if I click away from the game because it sometimes, for some reason, when I, if I don't hit the menu, it will, like, force skip through all the content. It's wacky. So I have to be careful.
Good night, Anarsis. Sayonara.
Ohayo gozaimasu, minasan. ご機嫌いかがかしら？
うげ、伊藤さ
ん。うげとはご挨拶ですのね。皆さん、お顔の色が優れない様子ですけど。
そりゃ、朝っぱらからあんたの顔見たせいに決まってるだろうが。
まあ、長倉くんったら冗談がお上手ですこと。
Ito dismissed Nagakura's snide remark, and he turned to face the standing warriors.
皆さんの顔色がよろしくないのは、もしかして昨晩の騒ぎと関わりがあるのかしら？
I know, Ito's fucking face. It's so punchable. He himself in general is just punchable.
Desperately, Kondo's eyes flew around the room, as if looking for someone to offer an excuse.
よし、ごまかせその。
あ、俺か？実は昨日。
大根役者は出しゃばらないでくれるかな。
All right, Julie, sleep well, my friend. We've probably only got about another hour in this anyway, because I should also get sleep eventually. Oh, Sano, trying so hard to bullshit. He's not good at that.
そういうのだったらもっと得意な人がいるじゃない。
I do like how Soji comes in and he's like, hey, how about you leave the explaining to someone who doesn't suck at it? And then immediately turns to Saito.
Okita turned expectantly to Saito, and the latter spoke up at once.
伊藤参謀がお察しの通り、昨晩屯所内にて事件が発生しました。
まあ、事件ですって？
はい。ですが我々もまだ全容を把握できてはいない状況です。今の時点での説明は余計な誤解を招くばかりかと。ですので今夜にでも場を設け、詳しくお伝えさせていただきたく存じます。
そういうことですの。事情は分かりましてよ。今夜のお呼ばれ、心待ちにしていますわ。では、ごめん遊ばせ。
And as much as we hate Ito, it's worth pointing out that he's not a dummy. He knows they're hiding shit from him.
Ito brandished another strange smile. stood, nodded, and left the room promptly.
なんとか見逃してもらえたみたいだね。
What do you mean?
伊藤さんはなんだかんだで頭が回る人だからな。幹部が勢ぞろいしてる場に三男さんだけいねえんだ。あの人絡みで何かあったってことぐらいすぐ感づくだろ。
Oh. Ito had likely guessed at what took place, but decided not to press the issue. I had looked up just in time to see Sannan shuffle through the door. Sannan!
そんな化け物を見るような目で見られても困りますよ。
三男さん、起きてていいのかい？
少し気だるいですがね。これも薬の副作用でしょう。あの薬を飲んでしまうと昼間動くことが困難になりますから。
Sannan looked a little pale, but it didn't look too difficult for him to stand and speak. But if it's hard for him to move during the day...
私はもう人ではありません。
Those words sunk our hearts heavily. Even the captains fell silent to his solemn admission.
いや、三男君、君が生きていてくれてよかった。我々はそれだけで十分だと思う。
Kondo stood and grabbed Sannan's shoulders tightly, his expression bright and endearing. Tears nearly welled in his beaming eyes.
それで腕の方はどうなんです？治ったんですか？
まだ本調子ではありませんからね。自分でもよくわからないのですが。
He lifted his left arm, the arm that before had hung limp at his side, and flexed his hand. It didn't look any different than before his injury.
治っているようですね。少なくとも不便がない程度には。
Thank goodness. In spite of the chaos from last night, his wish to use his arm once more came true. However,
あの薬を飲んだってことは昼間動けねえようになっちまったんだろう。
Oh yeah, vampire times.
それなのにタイムに参加なんてできるのか？
his voice was calm, almost careless.
解決策はあります。私が死んだことにすればいい。
The masquerade begins. I mean, kind of?
これから私は薬の成功例として羅刹を束ねていこうと思っています。
三男さん、それ本気で言ってるのか？あんた自分が何を言ってるのか分かってるのかよ？
分かっていますとも。長倉君、君こそ忘れたのですか？我々は薬の存在を伏せるよう幕府から命じられているのですよ。私が死んだことにすれば今までのように薬の存在を隠し通すことができる。それにもし薬の持つ副作用を消すことができるのだとすれば、それを使わない手はないでしょう。
They seemed to be against Zannan's idea, though no one said anything. Who would want to consign a friend to a life of secrecy, lived in the shadows? But
薬の実験は幕府からのお達しでもあるしな。そうするしかないか。
まあ三男さんが自分で選んだ道ですし、止めたって聞く人じゃないですよね。
よくわかっていますね。その通りですよ。
Hijikata scoffed at Sannan's suggestion, and bitterness frothed from his words.
豚書移転の話、冗談じゃ済まされなくなったな。三男さんを伊藤派の目から隠すには広い豚書が必要だ。ここじゃ狭すぎる。
同意します。薬の研究を続けるのであれば、なおのこと移転を急ぐべきかと。
Hijikata is entirely too pretty, and what's really scary is it's not that far off from what he really looked like. There is photographic evidence of what this man looked like, and he was damn pretty.
よし、ろくに寝てねえとこ悪いが、話し合いを始めさせてもらうぜ。雪村、お前は部屋に戻ってろ。ゆうべ、ろくに寝てねえだろ。
Okay. Understood. Please excuse me. I bowed to everyone and left the common room. I'm happy that Sunnan was safe, but a whole flurry of new concerns arose. Learning of my father's horrible work. What will become of me? Will I be safe? Such thoughts buzzed heavily in my head as I walked back to my room.
I mean, not all of them are vampires yet.
June 1865. Our emperor had passed, and our year moved from the 2nd of Ganji to the 1st of Kyoto. It was 3 months since we'd moved the headquarters to Nishin Honganji. There's a lot more room, but more room meant, well, farther to walk. I'd walked through it almost every day for weeks, and I was finally beginning to learn my way around. As I turned a corner near the back of the compound, I caught sight of someone sitting in the shadows. There you are, Sunnan. Your food's ready.
Ah, 君でしたか。ありがとう。
The snow disappeared, the cherry blossoms bloomed and fled, and now the swallows and the heat came. Sunnan and I exchanged a pair of smiles, and I held out my hands to let the breeze brush across them. It's really gotten warm lately.
ええ。まあ、今の私には風より日差しの強さの方が勘に触りますがね。
Really? I didn't think the sun was particularly strong that day. But to Sunnan, who hid in the shadows and out of sight during the day, it must have been unbearable. The night he changed, Sunnan's hair turned white, and in his eyes was a thirst for blood. But looking at his peaceful smile now made it hard to imagine such a night was real. If someone told me it was all a bad dream, I would have believed it. It wasn't a dream, though, and now Sannan spends his days hiding from the sunlight and from others. For just a moment, the sun lit on Sannan's hair. I don't know if it was a trick of the light or simply my mind being foolish, but in that moment, his hair was a brilliant white.
どうかしましたか？幽霊でも見るような目つきで人を見るのは良いこととは思えませんが。
Oh, no! Nothing at all! He looked perfectly normal now, of course. Surely, I thought I must have simply imagined it. Even if I had, there was no denying that he was the same man who went mad with bloodlust. The fear of the night cast a shadow over my heart. It was unnerving. Heisuke and I made our way through the crowded as usual streets of Kyoto at a brisk pace. You know, I haven't gone out on patrol with you in quite a while, Heisuke.
ああ、そうかもな。俺、長いこと江戸に行ってたし。俺の留守中どうだった？
Oh, you know, no big deal. Sannan turned into a fury. It's fine.
新八さんとか佐野さんにいじめられたりしなかったか？
Everything was fine. And they were kind to me.
そっか。ならいいけど。親父さんの行方はどうなんだ？手がかりとか見つかったか？
None at all.
やっぱ見つからねえか。俺も江戸に戻った時、お前の家の様子を見に行ってみたんだけどな。
Broske!
Good old Heisuke. Our BB cinnamon roll.
人が戻ってきた様子はなかったし、ほんとどこに行っちまったんだろうな。
The somberness of Heisuke's expression started to rub off on me. Now I was depressed. Oh. Thank you for taking the time to look anyway.
I know. Every time we see Heisuke, I'm like, oh, baby. Our OTP. Love him forever.
いや、別に礼を言われるようなことじゃねえって。そもそも、お前が今みてえに自由に外に出られねえのも、元はといえば、俺たちの。
Heisuke? Heisuke stopped himself mid-sentence, which was jarring. Ever since he's returned from Edo, he's looked glum. Hey, Heisuke. How about you? It's been a while since you were in Kyoto. Does it seem different from Edo?
そうだな。街も人も結構変わった気がする。
Huh? I wondered what was going through his head. Did something happen to him in Edo? His sudden change of character confused me. Heisuke's head jerked up slightly, and he looked across the street. He stood on his toes and waved.
おい、掃除！そっちの様子はどうだった？
特に何も。いつも通りだね。
Okita was out on patrol as well, although his route took him through a different part of the city.
でも、将軍上洛の時には忙しくなるんじゃないかな。
The Shogun's coming to visit Kyoto?
そう。 近藤さんも張り切ってるよ。近藤さん、家持子のことをすごく尊敬してるから。
Oh, I see. I hope it turns out well. Right, Heisuke?
ああ、うん。まあ、近藤さんはそうだろうな。
Huh? Something had really gotten into him. I glanced at Okita to see if he noticed anything. Okita, are you alright?
平気だよ。ちょっと風邪をひいちゃったみたい。
Ah, I see. Well, please take care of yourself. I have medicine to treat colds, so I'll give you some when we return.
そう。ありがとう。君でもごくたまに役に立つことがあるんだね。
What's the matter? Okita's eyes looked past me, and suddenly something caught his attention off to the side.
おい小娘、断るとはどういう了見だ。
やめてください。話して。
民草のために日々上位を論ずる我ら志士に尺の一つや二つ自分からするのが当然であろうが。
Across the street, a clump of perhaps 3 or 4 men were harassing a young girl. Okita! Heisuke!
わかってるって。お前はここで待ってろ。
But it appeared to be Okita that got to them first.
やれやれ。上位って言葉も君たちに使われるんじゃかわいそうだよ。
The usual crowd shuffled away from Okita, and the men as quickly as they could. No one wanted to be near the sight of unsheathed blades. The Ronin's eyes found Okita's jacket, and the men stiffened.
その羽織、新選組か。
知ってるなら話が早いな。どうする？
His lips curled into a predatory smile as his hand gripped his sword. There was no mirth in that rictus grin, and the Ronin's faces grew much paler. Their moods were not totally deflated yet, as their ringleader made one more attempt.
Yeah, it's unfortunately not Sen.
くそ、幕府の犬が。
いいからとっとと失せろって。
Fucking Kaoru.
The sight of 2 Shinsengumi blue jackets standing shoulder to shoulder was enough to deter the men.
貴様ら、覚えておれ。
The last of the color drained from their faces, and they turned tail and ran.
俺たちを見てとっとと逃げ出すぐらいなら最初からあんな真似するなっての。
You aren't going to go after them? Arrest them?
どんな罪で？君って意外と過激だな。
I didn't really mean it like that.
助けてくださってありがとうございました。私、南雲薫と申します。
I watched as the girl gave Okita a quick bow. She was so refined, so ladylike. Even dressed as a girl, I doubted I could ever be as elegant as her. I'd only just begun to feel sorry for myself when suddenly I felt a hand on my arm. Whoa! Okita?
いいから、この子の横に立って。
He shoved me next to the girl we'd just rescued, then stepped back to stroke his chin thoughtfully.
Hey, look, it's us!
Okita? I glanced nervously toward the girl and attempted to smile kindly, under the circumstances.
We do find out the full story regarding why they look alike, and it becomes extremely important in Soji's storyline specifically.
The smile she gave me in return was beautiful, but there was something about it that seemed odd. She seems familiar.
やっぱりよく似てるね、二人とも。
We look like... That's when I finally realized. She was identical to whom I saw in the mirror.
そっか。俺は全然似てないと思うけどな。
And then there's Heisuke who's like, they don't look alike at all. He's not very good at figuring out similarities or figuring out when girls are dressed as boys and stuff. He's kind of bad at all of that.
いや、似てるよ。きっとこの子が女装したらそっくりになると思うな。
沖田さん、この方困ってらっしゃいますよ。
Oh, I had to say something, but what? Perhaps she saw through my confusion, or perhaps it was something else.
きちんとお礼をしたいのですけれど、今は所用がありまして。ご無礼、ご容赦くださいね。このご恩はまたいずれ。新選組の沖田総司さん。
With that, the girl who called herself Kaoru disappeared into the crowds of Kyoto, although the uneasiness created by her presence remained.
おいおい、ありゃ掃除に気でもあるんじゃねえの？
今のがそう見えたんなら、平助は一生佐野さんに勝てないよね。
どういう意味だよ。
Their back and forth continued, but my mind was elsewhere. Last night's rain left a number of puddles on the road, and when I looked into them, I saw a strange girl who looked just like me. Kaoru, huh? Wind caught the surface of the puddle, sending a flurry of ripples across it.
おい、そろそろ豚舎に戻るぞ。
Alright, I'm coming! I turned and ran toward Heisuke and Okita, already on their way back to headquarters. The temple was much larger than the compound in Mibu, as advertised. The whole Shinsengumi could gather in the common room with space to spare. As Kondo spoke, his voice echoed grandly throughout the hall. Standing before Kondo were the many proud men under his leadership with glowing expressions.
皆も徳川第14代将軍徳川家茂公が上洛されるという話は聞き及んでいると思う。その上洛に伴い公が二条城に入られるまで新選組総力をもって警護の任に当たるべしとの要請を受けた。
将軍公の警護を新選組が？こりゃとんでもねえ大出世だな。
池田屋や金門の変の活躍でお偉いさん方も俺たちの働きを認めざるを得なかったんだろうよ。
警護中は文字通り僕らの刀に国の行く末がかかってるってことですか？
そういうことだ。てめえら気合い入れていけよ。
将軍公の警護とはまた大役ですな。
Oh, go away, Takeda.
本当に三男さんが生きていればどれほどお喜びになったことか。
ぐー。
本当に惜しい方を亡くしましたわね。
Ito wiped crocodile tears away from his eyes with a silk handkerchief. Ito and his followers were told Sunnan died. In fact, the entire incident surrounding his transformation had been covered up. Only a few of the men of the Shinsengumi knew the truth.
伊藤さん、こたびの幕命を立派に成し遂げることこそ亡くなった三男君が真に望んでいることだと思います。
分かっていますわ。私たちの名を天下に広く知らしめる絶好の機会ですものね。
ともあれ、これから忙しくなりますな。
まずはタイの編成を考えねば。とりあえず俺とトシ、それからソジ。
待ってくれ近藤さん。ソジは今回外してやってくれねえか。
なぜだ？
なんでも風邪が治らねえとかでな。養生しろって散々言ってるのによ。
Doll. Hijikata's mother henning Soji.
本当か？大丈夫なのか、ソジ？
大した風邪じゃないんですけどね。土方さんは大げさなんですよ。
何言ってやがるんだ。さっきも咳してただろうが。
それ薬を売りつけるための工場ですか？何を言われても石田三役は買いませんよ。
I mean, generally in this game, whatever guy whose route you go down is probably going to become a Fury. There's a few exceptions.
そんなんじゃねえよ。いいから言う通りにしろ。
I gave Okita some pretty strong medicine not too long ago. I wonder if that didn't work. Or maybe he doesn't have a cold, but rather he's inhaling dust from the lack of cleaning here. Then suddenly someone raised his hand.
平介、どうしたんだね。何か気になることでもあるのか？
あのさ、近藤さん。実は俺もちょっと調子が。
なんだ、平介も風邪か？気をつけないといかんぞ。せっかくの晴れ舞台、全員揃って家持ち子をお迎えしたかったのだがな。
すいません。
ああ、いや、責めたわけではないんだ。体調は大事だからな。いずれまた機会もあるであろうし、二人にはその時存分に働いてもらいたい。
Kondo and Hijikata continued to discuss their formation, but suddenly Hijikata turned to me.
そういや雪村、お前はどうするんだ？
What?
ほうけてるんじゃねえよ。お前は警護に参加するのかって聞いてんだ。
I can go too?
無論構わんとも。君も今や新選組の一員と言っても過言ではない。ぜひ参加してくれ。
Could I? Could I really go? I hesitated for a moment, confused, and Okita laughed.
まあ言ってもいいんじゃない？そんなに危険もなさそうだしね。
長州藩士は今日に出入りできねえから 切った張ったの騒ぎにはならねえだろうし。
What should I do? I'm just a little concerned about a person like me who's not a warrior coming along, but I was feeling emotionally strained with no leads of my father turning up on rounds.
Death flag. I'm sure it'll be fine. Nothing bad is gonna happen.
I'll go!
よし、わかった。お前には伝令やら使いっ走りを頼むことになると思うがな。こき使ってやるから覚悟しとけ。
In the early days of the Tokugawa shogunate, Nijo Castle was a place for the shogun to stay on his way to the capital. It's been a while since the shogun actually stayed in it, though. We'd met the shogun on the road and began our escort about 30 minutes earlier, and arrived at the castle relatively recently. By now, I imagined, Kondo, Nagakura, Inoue, and the men were greeting the officials and other important people in the shogun's retinue. Well, I've got a job to do too. It was my job to tell soldiers when to change shifts, and to carry messages back and forth. A glorified errand girl, in other words. I don't see myself as being useless, though. I think. I've come with a message.
なんだ、お前が伝達係かよ。ここは遊び場じゃねえんだぜ。
Well, I'm not here to play.
へえ、そうかよ。じゃあまともな刀も刺してないお前が何しに来てるんだ？
I've come here to do what I can. Would you mind if we stopped playing games?
言ってみろ。
The chief is currently going around paying his respects to the people in the castle. Everyone else continue with the guard.
わかった。確かに伝達は聞いたぜ。
Huh? That's it? It's that simple?
おい。なんだそのバカ面は。俺が伝達を聞いたのがそんなにおかしいか？
No. I just...
仕事は仕事だからな。市場を挟むつもりはねえんだよ。ほら、伝達は聞いたんだ。さっさと行け。
Okay. Miki and I never really got on the best of terms, but maybe he's a responsible person. After he shooed me away, I continued attending to my duties as messenger.
I know, he's so mean. It's like, geez, dude, calm down. Don't be such a jerk.
In the surroundings of Nijo Castle, I can see the warriors wearing a white uniform, which was different than the afternoon uniform. They don't seem too nervous. But I guess it makes sense. Some of the imperial nationalist extremists were driven out of Kyoto, and many warriors fled. There's no way anything would happen. A sudden chill ran down the length of my spine. I froze. I knew the feeling. A length of cold steel seeking entry into your flesh. Eyes shining with a lust for blood and violence. Since I'd begun living with the Shinsengumi, I felt it more than once. Bloodlust. My eyes were drawn to the roof, where no one would think to look. A large wall cast a shadow, shielding a section of the roof from the moonlight. There they stood.
You!
気づいたか。さほど鈍いというわけでもないよ
Not really. She just kind of sensed it. It's just one of those, like, you kind of feel like someone's watching you things.
They looked very distinctive, unlike any soldiers I'd seen before. But 3 sets of piercing eyes scattered my thoughts, making it hard to think. I had recognized them. Now I had to put names to faces. Chikage Kazuma. Kyuju Amagiri. Kyo Shiranui. They were connected to both the Satsuma and Choshu, and they'd made an effort to impede the Shinsengumi at Ikeda, and again at Hamaguri. Why are you here?
そのなぜっつうのはどうやってここに立ち入ったかを聞いてやがんのか
Alright, Lyra. Sleep well, my friend. Thanks for hanging out as always. Hi, Danny.
Punch the butter!
We def should. Yep. We will do more Hakuoki bullshit tomorrow night / later tonight. Whatever. Oh, Danny. Did you have a nice nap? Honestly, after this little scenario is done, I'm gonna call it and close up shop for the night. I just don't like stopping in the middle of a scene, especially since this thing can... It cuts scenarios off pretty briefly.
だったら答えは簡単だ。俺ら鬼の一族には人間が作る障害なんざ意味をなさねえんだよ。
我々はある目的のためにここに来た。君を探していたのです。
What? My heart was pounding so hard it could burst. Why do these men know my name? I don't understand. A demon? What do you mean? And what are you here for? No, you must be joking.
鬼を知らぬだと。本気で言っているの。
He stepped forward, cloaked in shadows. When Amagiri spoke, it was calm and peaceful, as if he were reasoning with a frightened child.
君は負った傷がすぐに癒えませんか?
I held my breath.
波の人間とは思えぬほど怪我の治りが早くありませんか?
Zoned out. Oh, Danny.
How does he know my secret? I've never revealed it to anyone before. Well, Words struggled to come to mind, and just as I was about to deny their accusations.
ああ? なんなら血ぶちまけて証明した方が早いか?
Shiranui's gun glistened eerily.
知らぬい。貴様貴重な女鬼に傷を負わせるつもりか?
Hey, welcome back from the food run, Twilight.
んなこと言われても、こいつの往生際が悪いんだからしょうがねえだろうが。
After Kazuma glared at Shiranui, his eyes drifted toward the kodachi on my hip again.
多くは語 鬼を示す生徒、東の鬼が持つ子たち。証拠としては十分に過ぎる。
My family name? What was wrong with Yukimura? I didn't understand what he was saying, and the cold sweat started inching down my spine.
言っておくが、お前を連れて行くのに同意などいらん。女鬼は貴重だ。共に来い。
He sure do love that Kodachi. And then he's like, oh, hey, BT dubs, I'm gonna kidnap you. Cool, cool.
His hand stretched out from the darkness, pale and grasping like the tentacle of some hideous subterranean monster. Then a blade flickered through the night.
おいおい、合いびきならもう少し色気のある場所を選んだ方がいいんじゃねえか。
Sano! It's still nice when he comes to our rescue.
またお前たちか。田舎の犬は目端だけは聞くと見える。
それはこちらのセリフだ。
Harada! Saito! My legs almost collapsed as if the now shattered tension was the only thing keeping me standing. I teetered backwards, my balance momentarily lost. A strong, sinewy hand caught me and pulled me back, its grip hard as steel.
Old boyfriend and future other boyfriend!
下がってろ。
And then it's dad. Eventually, daddy.
Hijikata! One hand guided me around behind him even as the other drew his sword.
将軍の首でも取りに来たかと思えば、こんなガキ一人に一体何のよ。
Well, we gotta date him sooner or later. We can't keep calling him dad.
将軍の貴様らも今はどうでもいい。これは我ら鬼の問題だ。
鬼だと。
His eyes narrowed. Hijikata seemed perplexed by Kazuma's statement, as if contemplating the possibility of its truth.
こいつの面を拝むのは金門の変以来だな。
腐れんってとこか。大して嬉しくもねえがな。
Oh, look, it's the OTP. Really, they just need to date each other. Oh, Danny. I'm pretty sure we made that joke back during one of these streams. I saw someone do it in chat. I don't remember who right now because my brain is late.
再会という意味ではこちらも同じくだ。だが何の考えもわかんな。
我々の邪魔立てをするつもりですか。
The tension was so thick in the air I could scarcely breathe. They were a powder keg ready to explode. Even the slightest movement could set them off. It wasn't like I could do much. But I still wanted to help them, so I grabbed my sword.
The cold anaconda. God damn it, Danny. That typo's gonna live on forever. Right? Sano Shiranui is a good ship. It's so good.
副長たちの心配は無用だ。
Hello, Yamazaki. Yamazaki, when did you...
副長のメイだ。君はこのまま俺が屯所まで連れて行く。
Then you're telling me to run away?
その通りだ。君がここにいてもできることは何もない。
I mean, I think Danny and I were mutually confused by it when it occurred in Discord. I was briefly wondering if it was lewd myself, but you know.
I mean, he may be right, but I consulted the walkthrough quickly. I think we go back to headquarters. Yeah, that's what we do. Even as I ran back to the headquarters with Yamazaki, I couldn't shake the fear in my heart. When I finally got to the compounds, I still felt nervous, and I could do nothing but stare into the blank darkness behind me.
Moう大丈夫だ。さすがにここまで追ってはこれまい。
But
不安なところ申し訳ないが、俺は副長たちのところへ戻らなくてはならない。皆将軍校の警護に出ているから、今の屯所に大使はほとんど残っていない。
She's an ultimate heroine. She's not allowed to have agency. It's not true in every route, but the choices you have to make in some of them are definitely frustrating at times.
沖田さんか東堂さんのところにいるのがいいだろう。そこが最も安全だ。
Okay, understood.
では、後のことは頼んだぞ。
With that, he disappeared back into the darkness. Suddenly, the night felt very quiet. The word demon echoed through my head, and their faces floated in front of my eyes. I shook my head. As the temple came back into focus, I felt very, very alone.
In Heisuke's route, she actually had quite a lot of agency. She spent a good chunk of his Edo Blossoms route, like, lifting him back up out of a lot of justifiable depression. It's why it's one of the nicest ones, I think. They are a good pair, and Chizuru actually feels like a complete person.
As Yamazaki said, I should go find Okita or Heisuke. But whom should I look for?
Well, this one's an obvious one. Yeah, Edo Blossoms is the second half of the story, but it is a separate game. Originally, Hakuoki was a single game, but when they did these remakes, they added so many additional scenes, and they literally added a whole, like, 6 new guys and their routes. So they had to break it into 2 games. The way I've been playing through it, though, is we play a single route all the way through from game 1 to game 2, so you get the complete story before we go back and do another route. Alright, Renegade. Sleep well, my friend. Always good to see you.
Oyasumi nasai. Okita looked up from cleaning his sword as I entered the hall.
二条城に行ってるんじゃなかったっけ？どうしたの？一人で。
Well,
あ、わかった。さては何か失敗して土方さんに追い返されたんでしょ。
Yeah, something like that.
あのさ、そんな引きつった顔で返事されても全然からかいがいがないんだけど。何があったのか聞かせてくれるかな。
Well, still feeling upset, I told Okita about the incident that unfolded in Nijo Castle. The minute I mentioned Kazuma's name, Okita's eyes lit up.
へえ、そうなの。風間千景。あいつが来てたんだ。あいつらが来るって分かってれば、意地でも言ったんだけどな。
What? Of course he could have. No, you're sick. Hijikata told you to rest.
うるさいな。そもそも君が悪いんじゃない。君にもらった薬、全然効かん。
Okita? For just a moment, all colors but one faded away. I forgot about demons and castles upon seeing one thing: the sickly red splatter across Okita's hand and mouth. Are you okay? I'll go get someone. Heisuke!
ダメだ!
His voice was rough and strained, but filled with unexpected rage. He wiped the blood from his mouth and glared at me over the top of his hand. From under his bangs, his eyes, burning with anger, nailed me to the floor.
今見たことは忘れて。大丈夫。ただ喉が傷ついただけだよ。
Yeah, it's not a fun time.
Back when I was in Edo, I was helping my father out at his clinic. There were a few times where I'd seen patients who'd cough up blood from coughing too much. But what I just saw was something else. Okita.
聞こえなかった。忘れろって言ったでしょ。
He was so adamant about me not helping him, so it was difficult to know how to react. What could I tell him? Obviously, I consulted the walkthrough first. I won't tell anyone. But please, for me, get some rest today. Please.
ありがとう。それに、今から二条城に行っても間に合わないだろうしね。ほんと、間が悪いな。
He's basically bummed he can't, like, run to Nijo Castle and kick Kazuma's ass.
He grumbled and complained like a child, but before long I'd convinced him to lay down and rest. The words of the men who claimed to be demons lingered in my heart. There were so many things for me to be worried about. However, more than any of that, I was just worried about the man sick in front of me. I continued to eye Okita, who slept with his back faced towards me as I watched the dawn slowly emerge through the long, cold night.
And I think that's a good spot to end on, since we'll be picking up tomorrow/later. So it's been fun. We are now gonna start getting closer and closer to Okita's route. And it will get sadder and sadder as we do. But that's why we're here, right? Should be fun. Well, I'm glad you were pleasantly enthralled. Surprisingly enthralled, Twilight. It's a good game, and I'm very happy people are enjoying it. Aw, Ulceri! Stop! We will be back here tomorrow at 9 p.m. Pacific. And, we will continue down this route.
Hypeski!
All right, my friends. Good night. Sleep well. Be safe.
おやすみなさい。